showing them not just as the other side or the bad guys, but showing the complexities of that side as well, their desires, their dramas that they have to deal with, and putting Margot in that world. I think that's something that is going to feel very different for our audience.
So, first of all, I would love to just hear a little bit about how you feel like this time jump and this sort of new forming civilization has opened the show up to sort of new storytelling opportunities.
Yeah. I think the very nature of the show is that every decade we kind of reinvent the wheel, right? We have to. So I think part of that is not only technological advancements, but our characters and the storytelling. So I think this year is the first time we started a season on Mars, and you see how much it's advanced. So it really opened it up to the possibility of bringing people to Mars that aren't the normal astronauts you've seen in the past 3 seasons, aren't engineers, but more everyday people. And I think that evolution of the show is something we've always been fascinated with, and we're kind of excited we could do it this season. I think that's something that is a big part of the year, and sort of what that means. What are the impact of people like that coming to the world?
And what do you think have been the biggest challenges for the returning actors? Because now they're playing someone 10 years later.
I would say that the biggest challenge is just the amount of time they have to spend in the makeup chair, because it's like the prosthetics work that, especially with Joel, with Chris, they have been with the show since season 1, and to see that evolution is fascinating. And it's also the way, the physicality of how they had to build out, just behaving older, and they've both done an amazing job with that. And so I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is just being the same person, but letting that age show through.
Mm-hmm. What are you most excited to see viewers react to in this sort of new world that you've created this season?
For me, I think it's probably the Margot storyline in the Soviet Union, because I think it's something that this show early on has been about, the rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States. And we've always been able to show the American side of things because it's a Houston-based show. So being able to go to the Soviet Union finally and show that perspective and have one of our main characters be there, I think that from selfish writer place was really exciting, because it just opens up the opportunities. And I think showing them not just as the other side or the bad guys, but showing the complexities of that side as well, their desires, their dramas that they have to deal with, and putting Margot in that world. I think that's something that is going to feel very different for our audience, and I'm excited for them to kind of check it out.
And in terms of, from a writing perspective, what are the biggest challenges that come with moving a show 10 years forward every season?
I think one of the biggest challenges is, by the nature of the show, you have to keep introducing new characters to sort of keep it fresh and moving forward. And so carving out enough space in the storytelling to really get to know those characters, because I think the audience's inclination is just to connect with the older characters that they've come to know and love. And so making sure we give our new characters enough space to grow themselves and for the audience to fall in love with them in their own way, that's been a real challenge. But I think especially with Miles Dale and with Samantha and some of the other new characters, Eli Hobson, played by Daniel Stern, it really added a new lifeblood to the show this season that is really, I think people are really going to like.